Hello everybody, how's it going? I'm Mekakita Des. Today we are going to discuss about how a Japanese man who is also a prankster, a crowd chaser, attention seeker, got convicted for 3 years for a prank that caused a whole change in the conveyor belt sushi industry, and how it kind of like change the mindset of how everyone should be eating at a sushi restaurant. So with that being said, today we are going to talk about a lot of people who may actually know about him will be called Ryuga Yoshino. He is also the not really well known, but more towards the infamous at the time when this case blew and went viral, was that he actually did something along the line about this Japanese young man went and leaked, like seriously, what you guys hear is not wrong, went and leaked using his tongue or maybe using his saliva onto raw sushi and placing it back, as well as drinking directly from the cap of the soya sauce and then split, kind of like don't know what the hell he did, and then just placing it back for other people to use. So in regard, what actually a lot of people, why this thing became so viral is that apparently he did it as a prank, but it also because it questioned a lot of people how inhygiene this whole situation can cause, and that people who is going to eat from that place is going to either get sick or maybe ill or maybe even get food poisoning due to this seemingly simple prank. So the thing is, right, a lot of people might not be aware is that this young man at the time when he did the prank he was actually 19 years old. Not saying that he's still young, but as a high school, I believe he will be near as a person who just ended up either university or something along the line. Because the thing is, right, if he actually is still young and he take it as a prank, if you like, the thing is, right, I can understand if you want to seek some attention, you want to get some chill, but when you put other people like at risk due to your hygiene, it's a very questionable thing. What you guys have to understand that this whole situation did happen at the same time, as you guys might not be aware, would be, or maybe aware, is that it happened during the Corona season. Yes, it happened during the Corona season. Back then, we know that Corona can be spread easily by inhygienic or even case of like saliva or this thing. So what a lot of people condemning this young man at the time was that it was actually along the line of causing risk for other people to get virus if he does have the virus himself. So the thing is, right, it actually caused a lot of people to rethink how conveyor belt sushi should be. And the funny thing is that what you guys would not know is that sushi terror is actually a thing in Japan. Sushi terror happened, and the thing is that after what this guy did, there's a few other people, Japanese people, actually did the same thing as this young man, and that sushi terror became a thing. With many of the case, if you do type in sushi terror, people will still it will still reverse back to the young man. And you can just see basically that the case, if you guys can understand, is that people start referring to the previous case about sushi terror is affecting, and people might be like, yeah, we kind of like don't want to go and eat the place. The thing is, right, because of what sushi terror had did in the Japanese situation is that many conveyor belt sushi restaurant, not just the one that the young man visit, but all around Japan was affected. In a way, is that people kind of like question like whether do some at the time it's like people was like, we all know about the coronavirus situation, but the thing is, right, people still go to restaurant to eat, to enjoy their meal, but when there is like issue of like hygiene during the coronavirus is also a thing, the sushi terror became so viral that a few people was either arrested or convicted, including the young man Ryoga's son. So the thing is, right, all of them was most of them was convicted, including the young man. And yes, at the same time, sushi terrorism is also a thing, and it will still revert back to the young man. Although there is a few other people who did the same thing, but it's always revert to this young man. So the thing is, right, what he had did about framing himself leaking of a soy sauce bottle, or even putting the whole thing made a lot of Japanese people question the line of like, is sushi at the conveyor belt safe to eat now? A lot of people will be saying like, because it's like there might be hygiene issue. People start questioning the hygiene of conveyor belt sushi. A lot of people start questioning like, is it safe to eat? Is it have not been touched by others? Like, people always go along the line of like, conveyor belt sushi has always been the sushi that going around, letting you pick whichever sushi you want, and if you see it nice, you can consider getting it. So the thing is, right, it actually did change after that terrorist, where a lot of people don't dare to eat sushi in the conveyor belt. So the thing is, right, it although it affected, like, I did a chat along the line, like, after the leaking scandal, like, a lot of people didn't dare to go to it, like, to the point that sushi, like, you can, like, the sushi conveyor belt restaurant no longer serving sushi on a conveyor belt. So the thing, it will be like, is it still considered conveyor belt sushi? Well, the thing is, right, conveyor belt sushi kind of took a change. Normally, people will take along the line like, conveyor belt sushi is the sushi where they travel non-stop along the conveyor belt and people take wherever they want. But as for right now, many restaurants decided to go with the point of like using if you want to have the sushi, just they will show a digital version of what kind of sushi like that is on the view. And the sushi, it's not that there is no conveyor belt sushi around the world. There is still some of them maybe still alive, but the thing is, right, it change along the line where people don't feel safe to eat sushi that has been on the open now. So basically what happened is that many sushi restaurants decided along the line that make to order. What does that mean? Basically, they will show the sushi picture or menu, or maybe like what you see in this, like a digital version of it, and that along the line that if you need, they will be like, you can select the plate you want, send a message to the kitchen where their dish are freshly made of to order, which means that as for right now, we can say that all the sushi now will be considered fresh and nice. But on the other hand, it also kind of like got a lot of people along the line like, yeah, sushi conveyor belt is no longer as what it was once before. So it's what you guys might see along the line, like sushi conveyor belt always having a roll of sushi. So not, you won't be seeing this kind of thing in Japan anymore. So it became a thing because of what this young man did. So this young man had did the most crazy prank, attention seeking, and it blew out on his face. And the thing is, right, it changed a lot of people mindset because of hygiene and consider, is it safe to eat or not. So along the line, like, people start questioning the thing, whether is it considered safe, and it became the most, it's like became back to the norm where if maybe freshly made sushi might be a best way to go. So as of right now, a lot of sushi restaurants no longer have the famous conveyor belt where they will have the conveyor belt. It's just that they are not using the conveyor belt to place the sushi anymore from high. Okay, it's like, it's called a conveyor belt sushi, but why is it not conveyor belt sushi? So the thing is, right now they will just basically, you order whatever food you want, they will send it to you through the conveyor belt, which I think is a good thing. It's kind of like saying that the conveyor belt sushi is still alive, but it's just that we now know that sushi will be freshly made, as well as along the line that is more is hygiene, is at least we kind of like, although we can't know whether the kitchen will do it do it injustice, but it kind of set a point where sushi now is more kind of like more safe to eat. until when the people start complaining about the Fukushima water treatment stuff again, became people questioning about the is raw seafood considered safe to eat or not? Yeah, that will be a whole new different story we'll be talking about. But as for right now, because of that, sushi in many restaurants like it's no longer on the conveyor belt. It's more towards the point like if you order, we'll send it to you. So is it still considered conveyor belt sushi? Well, it depends on, like I mentioned, do they keep the tradition of the conveyor belt alive by I wouldn't say like how to like putting it up, but if they go along the line of like showing it in a digital way, and if you find the sushi delicious or you want to order that, just click on it and then the sushi, and then they'll send you a fresh one. Yeah, I think that's considered a good thing. And also digital, I will actually do like the digital version because it will show you the price, and if some place is the buffet one, they will say which one is free to order and which one you have to pay extra for it. So it's actually good. It's a good thing that a similar prank did change the sushi conveyor belt sushi in a positive way. It did cause a lot of people to think of and question the legit is conveyor belt sushi considered safe to be eat. So along the line, it did change for the better, but it does not mean people is giving the young man the credit. Although credit are given that he was the one who caused the whole thing to change, but he is also convicted, because what you guys have to understand that what he did caused a lot of people to not go to conveyor belt sushi restaurant to eat. That in a sense is considered obstruction of business. In a sense, he can be convicted to jail out for 3 years and additional fine. And in this case, whether is it for the good or a bad thing, but we can say that based on news, he had been convicted. Yes, this happened to this young in like around 2-3 years back, but I believe it will be around 2 years back. So as for right now, at the time how this video that is uploaded and recorded and whatsoever you guys say, he's already 21 years old and he's considered a young man, a young adult. So he is convicted by the Nagoya District Court, where it happened in Nagoya. So the thing is, right, he was convicted as for 3 years and suspended for 5 years. So I have no idea what he's suspended for, but the thing is, right, he had been sentenced to 3 years. Meaning to say that that is a mark that he had to live by. A sentence that a mistake that he had did in his life. So does that mean the end of the story? Well, that would have been if he was not convicted for a prostitute case, apparently. And sadly, it's also involved a 15-year underage girl for prostitute. Sometimes some people really make a mistake, and when you make a mistake, things just blow up. So we have to see how, or maybe this might be a video for another day or whatsoever, but sushi restaurant had changed, especially the conveyor belt. And normally when I go to some conveyor belt sushi, even back when I was in Japan, as well as in Singapore right now, not many places that is called conveyor belt sushi really have the conveyor belt feel anymore. It just doesn't feel the same as. But does that mean is the change not good? Well, I'm not saying the change is not good. It's more towards the point that change kind of go towards the point of like, if we help to ensure us that people get to eat fresh food, as well as that is also in consideration, not in consideration, that's what I'm saying, more towards consideration of like food safety and hygiene. I think that all this prank might have actually caused a huge wake up. So yeah, I think that kind of like sum it out for the whole story. So if you guys do think you want to talk more or discuss or maybe say something add on to what I have missed out, write in the comment below what do you guys feel about it, or did I miss out something, or what do you think that the change about this whole conveyor belt might is a good thing, or is conveyor belt sushi restaurant addicting? So I don't know. I mean, like, just write it down and we can discuss more onto that, or maybe into the next video. But don't forget to press the like button if you do like this kind of content, and also subscribe for more random chat where I don't follow a single trend but mostly talk on a random topic. So with that being said, hope you guys have a nice day or night. Bye.